Good evening, guys. Arun Gujani here. Welcome to my channel. Let me ask you a simple question for this segment before I start off with it. What does photography mean to you? It has been nothing short of a lifesaver for me because when the lockdown was announced on 25th March, I knew that this was not probably going to end soon. So I had to come up with something that amused my mind. So I decided to get to photography, do it in a more challenging way. I had earlier done a 30-day project where I was clicking one image a day, but this time I thought I will click one image per day but also add a story to it. It's been 6 months now since yesterday, and 184 days later, there is something that I wake up for, and that is to click an image. So photography in short has kept me sane through this lockdown. So I thought, why not start off this photosphere segment by discussing what I had done during those days. So I'm going to share 3 images which were the most liked ones in Facebook and 3 images which are personally my favorites depending on what happened while I was clicking it. So before I get into the segment, I just wanted to share a small anecdote with you, because I feel that whenever people see images, one of the most frequent questions that I get is, what were the settings that you used? What was the shutter speed? What was the aperture? I wondered why never, it occurred to people that why don't I ask what is the story behind the image? Because there would be a thought process behind shooting a particular image, and I'm a person who believes that every image has a story. So the 6 images that I'm going to show you now, I'll try and explain why I shot it or what was the idea behind shooting it. So let's get on with it. This image was very interesting because it was a day when I was feeling very tired and I didn't know what to click. So my mom, being a retired botany professor, she has a lot of plants around. So I saw this particular plant in the pot which didn't have any leaves, it was just dry twigs. So I looked at it and I wondered, okay, what if I try and click this, because it was very different from there, because it was easy to shoot greens, it will anyway look good. But just to shoot those twigs and see what is the result. Sometimes you just go with the flow, you just go with your hunch. So I basically framed the image in front of my neighbor's wall, which was very old and it kind of had a very rustic look to it. So I clicked the image, and here is the most interesting part. There are times as a photographer when you click the image in color and then you feel like, okay, I don't really like this in color. Shall I try and change this to black and white? I've had some wonderful images which turned out because I made that decision to change from color to black and white. This was one such image. So trust your instincts sometimes and just go with the flow. If you feel that an image is going to look better in black and white, just change it and see it in black and white. This image is pretty special because this was a gift given to me by my good friend Ebin Babu. I always wondered why people do certain things. This guy was an aspiring actor and he just wanted to do a role in some short movie or a film or whatever. So he had contacted me, we had met through Facebook, so he had contacted me and he had said that, okay, said, brother, in my native language, I just wanted to act. So I referred him to one of my friends who was doing a short film, and he went there, auditioned for the role and got the role. Trust me, the only thing I did was I just gave him a contact. But since he got the role, one day he turned up at my house with a framed picture, this picture that he had drawn himself and could, taken the paint to actually frame it and bring it to me as a gift. I was greatly humbled and felt very happy because I realized that some of the simple things that we do make such a huge impact on other people, and it becomes all the more prominent during these struggling times that we are in. So I thought this image was very special, and a lot of people in Facebook also probably agreed to it because it had more likes than most other images. So yeah, so this was somebody's token of gratitude for something which I never felt was a great thing. It was just a simple reference that I'd given. But you never know, somebody might feel that whatever you did, the one small thing that you did made a huge difference. So this was that image. This was the first image that I shot, in fact, on March 25th when the project started. I've always always told people that photography is all about painting with light. And for me, there is no better way to project light other than showing it through greens. Leaves are one of the best examples that you can take if you want to project light in a very enchanting way. So on this particular day, it was very harsh sunlight. I guess it was in the afternoon or something, and there was this plant, and the light was coming through it. So one of the questions that I was asked was, how does the background become so dark or black for that matter? So it was quite simple because light was so harsh that I could literally bring down the exposure to an extent where the whole background becomes black, but I could still get the details because of the light that was coming in through the leaves. So it was just a simple technical thing. Once you understand light, going ahead in this channel, I will probably share some of the tips that I have learned from experience playing with light. This was one of my favorite images to shoot from the whole project because I had no clue that I'll be shooting such an image, to be honest. I was just looking at what should I do next and what should I shoot. So I was looking around and I had already seen a leaf in my front porch which was green in color, and there was another one which was red just right next to it. So I liked that contrast. And both these leaves, if you keep it together, I realized it formed the shape of a heart. So I brought it to my room and I was wondering what should I do it. So there was this glass, and I knew that because the way the sunlight was coming in through the windows, if I keep the glass there, it would obviously have that light effect around it, which will look like it has illuminated that whole area because of the light passing through it. So trust me, I didn't know what the output was going to be like, but I decided to go ahead and try it. So when I put the camera right on top of it and framed the picture, it looked surreal. In fact, it did not look like you were shooting a glass and the two leaves. It looked kind of sort of a modern painting for me, if you ask me. I don't know how you guys perceive it, but for me, it had carried a lot of, let's say, finesse to it. So, and I even tried pouring water up to the brim. I poured water up to the middle. So I was trying out various combinations with the glass and the water also. Finally, I decided, okay, this is gonna be it, and that is how I came up with the image. So trust me, you need to experiment a lot, especially when light is there. Use water, use oil, use different kinds of fluids and see how light plays with it. Oh, this one was absolutely amazing because in these 184 days, I have seen the heart symbol being represented in various forms around me. You should probably have a look at some of the images that I clicked featuring the heart symbol from nature all around. So did you see what has happened? Heart seems to be presented to me from every nook and corner around me. So when I was looking up at the sky, I realized that the cloud had this shape of a heart. I was trying to interpret it as a heart at least, and I knew that this will not exist for long because I've been looking at skies and shooting images for quite a while, and I knew that this cloud will rather disintegrate pretty fast. So this is something you need to remember also. If you're seeing a cloud in a particular shape, click that image immediately because that is not going to be there after a few seconds. Clouds disintegrate very fast generally, unless it is a carpeted kind of a cloud. But these kind of clouds, it will go off very fast. So I had to run down, literally get my camera, get one picture off. By that time, the cloud had kind of started losing shape. So I was very fortunate to get this picture, and add to that the drama of the sunlight coming from behind the cloud. It really added to the effect. And this one had to be an adventurous image to shoot because my mom was watering the plants, and suddenly she yelled and ran from there. So I was like, what happened? So she said, there's a snake in the pot. So I was like telling her, trust me, and she always thinks that I'm mad when I do this. I was telling her, don't do anything, don't scare the snakes. Let me go and get my camera. So I ran out, got the camera, and I was praying to myself that, please, don't let the snake slip away. I have to get this picture off. I was not even sure what snake it was at that point. So I love snakes. I love photographing snakes. I believe them to be one of the most elegant creatures in this planet. So I got the camera and I was like trying to get a good vantage point where I could click the snake. So looking through the lens, I realized that it was probably just a normal rat snake, not venomous. But it was nice to see it because it was not an adult snake, it was a baby snake, very small. It was equally scared, I guess. So I got just 2 or 3 clicks off before it came down to the road and slipped into a hole. But I felt fortunate that I could witness this because I always look out for animals or insects or birds whenever I click. So this was a very lucky find, and thanks to my mom who did not scare the snake. So yeah, so that was a very interesting click also. So you have seen these 6 images and the stories behind it. So think about why you click an image when you click it. And it would be nice to actually probably write it down, the thought behind it, because on a later date, it will be very exciting to read why you choose to click an image. Even if it is a landscape image, even if it is an image of an amazing sunset, there should be something that captures your imagination, because sunsets are happening every day. But you capture a particular sunset because maybe some of the colors really excite you on that day, or the way the sun was looking excites you on that day. So think about it and attach a story to the image that you are clicking and see how different it is going to feel to you when you see it the next time. So until the next video, if you like this, please subscribe and turn on the notification because I'm going to come back with a lot more stuff. So see you next time.